Simone Biles was born in 1997 in Columbus, Ohio, in the United States. But her life did not begin with gold medals or big dreams. It began with struggle. Her mother had problems with drugs. Her father left. Simone was just a little child, but her world was already broken. She and her 3 siblings were placed in foster care. Different houses, different rules, no real home, no real family. She remembers feeling small, quiet, and invisible. But something changed when she was taken in by her grandfather and his wife. They later became her mom and dad. They gave her love. They gave her safety, and they gave her a chance. One day, on a school trip to a gymnastics center, Simone saw something magical. Girls flying through the air, flipping, twisting, landing with power and grace. Simone picked up a piece of chalk and tried it herself. The coaches were shocked. She moved like she was born for it. That day, she went home with a note: "You should consider gymnastics training." It was the beginning of a whole new life. From that day forward, Simone trained hard. She was small, only 4 feet 8 inches tall, but she was strong, stronger than anyone expected. She practiced every day, after school, before school, in the summer, on holidays. While other kids were playing games, Simone was flying through the air. She fell, she cried, but she never quit. She didn't just want to be good. She wanted to be great. And slowly, the little girl who once had no home, no hope, no voice, became a name the whole world would one day know. This is the story of Simone Biles, a girl who faced fear, a girl who kept going, a girl who turned pain into strength and dreams into reality. She didn't just rise, she soared. Simone Biles started her training at a small gym in Texas. At first, she was just another little girl who loved jumping and flipping. But soon, the coaches saw something special. Simone had power, she had speed, but most of all, she had focus. She listened, she tried, she failed. But she always stood up and tried again. Every day, Simone trained 4 hours. 6 hours a day, 6 days a week. Her hands hurt, her legs were sore. She had to say no to birthday parties, trips, and even sleepovers. While other kids were watching TV, Simone was doing flips. While others played games, Simone was falling down and getting back up. This life was not easy, but Simone didn't want easy. She wanted to be great. People around her began to notice. She was short, only 4 feet 8 inches tall, but she jumped like she had wings. Her moves were powerful, fast, and clean. She made the impossible look easy. She added new tricks to her routines, ones no girl had ever done before. She smiled when she landed. She made it look like fun, but behind that smile was hard work, pain, and sacrifice. But not everyone celebrated her. Some said she didn't look like a gymnast. Some said she was too muscular or too strong. Others thought her routines were too risky, too bold. But Simone never let the critics stop her. She didn't change herself to fit in. Instead, she made her own path. She said, "I'm not the next Usain Bolt or Michael Phelps. I'm the first Simone Biles." By age 16, she won her first national title. At 17, she became world champion. And then again, and again, Simone was unstoppable. Her name was on the news, in magazines, and on TV. The world was watching, and Simone never disappointed. She added her own skills to the sport, moves that were so difficult, so dangerous, that no one else could do them. Some were even named after her. The Biles, not just one, but several. In 2016, Simone joined the US Olympic team for the Rio Games. The stage was global. Billions of people were watching. The pressure was high, but Simone did not crack. She flew, she flipped, she landed like a queen. 4 gold medals, 1 bronze, and smiles all around the world. Everyone knew her name now. She became a hero, a role model, a legend. But behind every medal was a little girl who once had nothing. No home, no voice, no future. And now she had it all. Not because it was given to her, but because she earned it. Her journey wasn't just about talent. It was about heart. About believing in herself when no one else did. About showing the world what is possible when you don't give up. Simone Biles was not just winning. She was rewriting history. In 2021, Simone Biles returned to the Olympic stage. This time in Tokyo, the world waited to see her fly again. Reporters called her the GOAT, the greatest of all time. People expected gold, perfection, magic. But no one saw what Simone was feeling inside. Behind the smile, behind the champion's face, she was struggling. The pressure was bigger than ever. The expectations were heavy, like a mountain on her shoulders. And then, during one of her routines, something went wrong. Her body twisted in the air, but her mind was not clear. She didn't know where she was. In gymnastics, that moment of confusion can be dangerous, even deadly. Simone stopped. She didn't go on. She pulled out of the team competition. The world was shocked. Why would the best gymnast in history stop in the middle of the Olympics? Simone explained, "My mind and body are not in sync. I need to take care of my mental health." Some people didn't understand, they said, but she's strong. She's a champion, yes, she's strong. But true strength is not just about pushing through. Sometimes, true strength is knowing when to stop. Simone Biles stood in front of the world and said, "My mental health matters. I matter." And in that moment, she became more than a gymnast. She became a symbol of honesty, courage, and change. Young people around the world heard her message. Athletes, students, workers, parents, they felt seen. They felt heard. Simone showed that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to take a break, even if you're the best, even if the whole world is watching. Later, Simone returned to win a bronze medal on the balance beam. But more than that, she won respect. She reminded us that medals shine, but mental health is gold, too. The legacy of a true champion, Simone Biles, is more than a gymnast. She's a symbol of power, grace, and most of all, truth. From a little girl in foster care to the most decorated gymnast in history, Simone's journey teaches us something deep. Your past does not decide your future, you decide. With every choice, every step, every moment you choose to keep going, you shape who you become. She showed the world that winning is not just about medals. It's about being true to yourself, even when it's hard. It's about saying, "I need rest," even when people expect you to shine. It's about speaking out for those who are still silent. Today, Simone uses her voice to support mental health, to speak against abuse, and to inspire the next generation. She smiles not just because she wins, but because she is free. Free to be herself, free to lead in her own way. In gyms across the world, little girls are now dreaming bigger because of her. They see a girl who looks like them, strong like them, afraid sometimes, just like them, but they also see that being afraid is not the end. It's just the beginning of courage. So when we look at Simone Biles, we see more than a star. We see someone who jumped into the air and also lifted the world with her truth. And maybe, just maybe, her greatest performance was not a flip, not a medal, but a moment of honesty that helped millions feel seen. I have 3 special questions for you. 1. What lesson from Simone's story will you remember most? 2. Do you think honesty is a kind of strength? Why or why not? 3. If you could ask Simone one question, what would it be?
If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me make more stories for you.